It was an unexpected turn, needing someone who gave my heart a third-degree burn. You might have seen this place before, but for me being a debutante, it's a little bit unsure. So you must understand, if I tried to get the lay of the land.
Good morning. I want to take this moment before everybody wakes up to show you how quickly our papaya fruit is developing on the tree. So I'm approaching it slowly because I just saw a bumblebee right here on the chilies where I'm standing right now. But here is the papaya tree, and let me try to zoom in so you can see how quickly the fruit is developing. There it is. That's the biggest one, and then on top we have a few smaller ones. But just from last week, I think it doubled in size. So we're gonna have some nice papayas this year, and from the other tree as well. And the other thing that I didn't show you is the dragon fruit. I showed it at the beginning of the last episode, but I want to show you here. This is going to develop into fruit, I think. It's the first time that we are growing dragon fruit, and it's in the pot. I put this pole in the middle. Now what I should do is kind of collect all these legs from the cactus and kind of tie them around the pole so it grows like this, and then to create like a palm on the top so all the fruit is hanging down. I didn't do that in time, so I don't know if it's going to be difficult now because they're quite sturdy. I don't know if they're going to start snapping, or maybe I can just put like a string, not too tight, and then slowly tightening it until they are able to bend around the pole and then create that shape that dragon fruit creates. But look at this. Hopefully this is going to be our first fruit, dragon fruit.
Yeah, I'll be your getaway driver if you provide the wheels. I'll stand in the line of fire if you just tell me how it feels when we kiss, when we touch. You have a way about you now.
It's a little bit later in the day. In fact, it's middle of the day, so it's the hottest time right now. But I wanted to show you the yellow socks that I finished. And I hope you found helpful at the end of last video that I showed you how I measure where to cut in the heel for the afterthought heels. If you didn't check that out at the end of last video, because I got quite a few questions of where about the placement of the heel. Because what I do is I usually knit the sock tube basically, but not one long tube and then I separate for the two socks. I knit set like two tubes, and I have them kind of like sitting there in case if I don't have any purpose for them in that moment. And then when I need to have a gift, I kind of take the measurement of the foot of the recipient and I cut in the heel. So I have presents that are usually ready. So this one, it was not like that. This one I already planned. It's for a friend of mine that I'm going to send now. But I showed you at the end of last video how I measure where to place the heel. So if you are interested in that and you missed it, you can check it. It's at the end of the previous video. So I finished the socks. Here they are. And I'm using, in this case, Drops Nord, which is a sport weight yarn. It's alpaca, wool and nylon, but I don't know exactly the percentages now. I love this yarn. I love it for socks, I love it for jumpers, and the burgundy part I don't think they have available. I think this color was discontinued. So I only had one ball, which I used for the cuffs, toes and heels of these socks. However, this is how much I have left. So I have quite a bit of yarn left, so I can use it for another few pairs of socks if I want. The yellow one, I actually didn't even use up the whole 50 gram skein, considering that I used contrasting yarn for these parts. I have left over, let me see, I wound it up. I have this much left over, which is about 10 grams. So I think I used 40 grams so 20 and 20 of the yellow yarn for the socks. So what I might do next time, in order to use the whole ball, so I don't have these bits left, I might separate the 50 gram skein. So it's sport weight yarn, so I think it's 165 meters per 50 grams, so 350 for something like that, for 100 grams. I'm going to take a ball of 150 gram ball, divide it in half, start knitting. Now this is for women's socks because they are obviously smaller usually than men's ones. So I'm going to take a 50 gram ball, separate it in half, start knitting without the contrasting cuff. So I will do the cuff and the body of the sock in the same color, and then when I run out, I'm going to do the toe in contrasting color and the heel in contrasting color. But that way I will use for a pair of socks 150 gram ball of Drops Nord and not have anything left over, and just need some contrasting yarn for the toes and the heels. So that's done, and I can actually package that and send it now. But I think this week is going to be kind of like a week of socks, because Mario told me, he told me a few days ago that next week we have a birthday dinner to go to of his friend. I know the man, he's a friend, but he's more of a Mario's friend, and it's his 50th. So I thought, you see, for women, I always have ideas what to buy, or to make or to buy. There is just plenty of ideas that I have of what women would like. But for guys, I always struggle. I struggle for Mario when I have to get him things for his birthday, for my kids, although my kids do tend to tell me, and they prefer money usually anyway. But for a grown-up man, I usually do struggle of what to give him. And this man, he kind of has more or less everything. So it's nothing that I would buy would... I don't know. It doesn't feel right to buy something, because he has plenty of everything, and I don't know his interest that well. So I thought, since it's his 50th, it might be a good idea to kind of go back to basics. And I thought to make him a pair of thicker socks, woolen socks with mohair, something that he cannot necessarily easily buy. So I thought to make him that. And my mom also suggested, because I kind of went to the basics as well, to give him a bottle of rakia. Rakia is a alcoholic drink, very strong alcoholic drink that we drink in Serbia and probably surrounding areas as well. I don't necessarily drink it. The only one that I like from rakia is the one that contains honey. It's very strong. But I do have a bottle of homemade one, and it's in a simple plastic bottle that was brought to me from a village from Serbia, and I thought that might be a really nice kind of a complete gift. So when my mom suggested that, I thought that's a great idea. So I started making the socks for him, And what happened is that I started knitting them on 3mm needles on little circular Adi Wonder, but they were coming, the sock was coming out a bit too wide. I had Mario try it and it was a bit too wide. So I decided before I continue, even though I thought, oh, maybe I could knit them like that, and then felt them a bit, I said, look, I'm not gonna risk it. So I cut the yarn and I started reusing that yarn, and I went down to 2.5mm needles, and now the size is great. So I'm knitting them. This is how much I have for now. And when I use up this yarn, then I'm gonna go back to the ones on cone. The yarn that I'm using is undyed. This is a blend of merino, alpaca and polyamide, and the strand of mohair blend, I think this is 50% mohair and 50% polyamide. So these two, and they're creating this kind of marled fabric. And I know that in Serbian villages they do wear this kind of socks, especially with this kind of marled fabric. So I thought that with my mom's idea, what she said to give him also a bottle of rakia, I think that will be a beautiful present. But let me show you one more. So most of my other projects that I was working on until now, they're probably going to be on standby for this week, because I do want to finish these first, and then if I have time, I mean, when I finish this, then I can kind of pick up my other projects and continue on those. But this is the priority now, and I don't think that it's going to be a problem, because this took me a day to knit, so it's pretty much half a sock, and I still have a week to go. So if I continue working on these today, finish this one today or tomorrow, and then another few days for the second sock, and it's gonna be fine. Mario already asked him what shoe size he's wearing, so I know I'm gonna refer to my measurements. Actually, he's wearing the same shoe size as Mario, so I know where to cut in the heel. That's that for today. I'm going to now, even though it's quite hot, meaning because it's this time of the day, I want to transplant. There is a lot of things that I want to transplant. There is a lot of cacti that need transplanting, but there is one plant that I have, and it kind of grows almost like a weed here in Cyprus. You know, it grows out of the walls, and it's very sturdy. But what happens is that after a while it gets very leggy. It's easy to transplant. You just cut it, I mean the shorter, you don't even have to root it or anything, and stick it in the ground, and it will take off. But because after a while it has these beautiful like burgundy flowers on the top, but after a while it becomes leggy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut those stems, pull the roots, and just stick it back in the, sorry about this fly, and stick it back in that pot. Maybe add some food for the soil, because it's going to be the same soil that it was in before. And I'm gonna do that now, because tomorrow we have a party. We have Alex's birthday, so we're gonna have everybody coming over, so I don't think I'm gonna be doing any of that tomorrow. So that's the plan for today. I will see you, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the day after, and to show you progress on the socks, and maybe I'm going to record some footage from the party.
But a ton of guts to make amends. I won't be a victim of circumstance. Gonna figure you out somehow. Well, I'll be your getaway driver if you provide the wheels. you provide the wheels, yeah. I'll stand in the line of fire if you just tell me how it feels. I'll be your getaway driver. I'll be your getaway driver.
How's it going, babe?
Oh, fucking hell, I almost dropped that one as well.
Did you just swear on camera?
Oh, yes, I did.
Seriously, come on.
When we touch,
See a big. Did you
when
Happy birthday to
we're in the dark,
Happy birthday to you.
how does it make
Good morning. I want to show you this beauty that bloomed yesterday. Look at the flower on the dragon fruit. Isn't this the most beautiful flower? Oh my goodness, it bloomed yesterday and it's on this cactus, the dragon fruit cactus that I showed you in the previous video. And look at it. It's the first time it's blooming. So it's the first time I see it as well. And when I saw it, I was just stunned. It's so pretty. Look. It's massive. I don't know if you can tell how big it is because of my hand. But let me put my hand here. Look at the size of it. So I assume, because this is the first year that I'm growing dragon fruit, so I assume that after this flower that we are going to get the actual fruit. But I don't know how long it's going to stay, so I was in the hurry now the first thing in the morning to show you how it looks, because sometimes cacti, they bloom just for 1 or 2 days and they close up. I don't know if this is the one like that, but here it is. It's captured now. Stunning. I'll try to take a photo during the day as well when the light is a bit better. So it's a few days later and I haven't recorded for a couple of days because I had a migraine. But if there will be some kind of sounds now while we are recording, because my older son, he's streaming, he's playing video games with his friends. Some of them are in UK and he's here, so they're streaming together. So he will be screaming possibly. And I put the dishwasher on. I didn't think about the fact that I'm going to be recording. And I said, which is right behind me. So I don't know if the microphone is going to be picking it up. But in case it does, I'm just telling you, we're going to roll with it. I asked Mario if I can pause it. He goes, I guess so. I tried to, but nothing was happening. So as I said, we'll just go with it and everyday life, right? So as I said, I didn't record for a couple of days, but I still wrote. I wrote some things that I wanted to mention now. I have it here. I had a migraine, and it hasn't been that bad the way that my migraines used to be before. Because if you've been with me for a while, you know what kind of migraines I was having, and ever since I was 18 years old. Now, I was having such bad migraines that every month I have an oxygen machine at home and I would be on oxygen, and it was just, I don't even want to go back there. But last year, the neurologist, he put me on some medication for epilepsy, and that which reduces the electrical activity in the brain around that time when my migraines are, because they're hormonal, they come around my period. So that helped a lot. However, that medication, I looked at the side effects because I have been losing some hair, and one of the side effects is hair loss. So I don't know how I feel about it. On one hand, I'm so grateful that that my migraines are much better, but on the other hand, you know, losing hair, I'm not very happy about that. Anyway, they're not happening as often now, and I'm not on medication every day, so it's just around that period of the month. So, but yeah, I had one now. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're going to be eliminated completely. I had one now. It was not as bad, but it was strong enough that I couldn't really do that much. And the thing is that when I'm not well, and then the moment I start feeling well, I feel like I need to kind of compensate for everything that I didn't do in those couple of days. And then I was exercising yesterday, then I was exercising today, and now my muscles hurt, and it's just one thing after another. Nothing big, just telling you what happened in the past couple of days. We had Alex's birthday. I didn't include in the vlog a lot of footage from Alex's birthday because somehow, as I was going through the footage, other people were inside and actually close-ups. So I didn't know if they would be comfortable with that. So I didn't really include a lot, but it was a nice birthday. We had a family over, and we didn't do anything special really. I didn't even get made up. I was in my t-shirt and torn jeans as I am now. Mario made hot dogs, paper plates, and just kind of hot dogs with onions, ketchup, mayo, all the condiments. It was nice. My mom made 2 cakes. It was a lovely day. But then afterwards, I got a migraine. But I did finish. Another thing happened on the night of Alex's birthday. I will tell you that in a bit. But let me show you what I did finish. I finished those socks that I was knitting for our friend that is his birthday this weekend, that we're going to take him. So here they are. This was a priority this week. I told you it was a week of socks because I finished the yellow ones, and then I started working on these, and I finished one sock of the pair that I'm knitting for Mario as well. So these are the socks that I have done for our friend for his birthday. I know his size, so he's the same as Mario, so I already cut in the heel. I prepared everything, they're ready. So I just wanted to show you, and then I'm going to package them. I think I mentioned I knitted them on 2.5 millimeter needles, magic loop, and I used one strand of undyed sock yarn, which is alpaca, merino, and polyamide blend, and I held it with mohair, which is mohair 50% and 50% polyamide. Now this mohair is a little bit more hairy than some other ones, if I can say that, some other ones that I normally have. And it was a little bit hard on my hands. The gauge is really tight. So it was a little bit hard on my hands. At least they're going to be durable. But in between them, then in order just to kind of relax my hands a bit, I was knitting on one of the socks that I started making for Mario, and I finished it. This is the sock. So the beige parts are drop snored, beige colorway. I don't really know exactly what colorway it is. And this brick color is yarn that I dyed with food coloring. First I mixed basically red and green. When I did red, it turned out pinkish, but then I added green and it made it this color. So this is how the yarn came out, and it was a pleasure to work with it. And this was on 2.25 millimeter needles, but fingering weight yarn. Although drop snort is sport, but this fingering weight yarn, after I have dyed it, kind of plumped up. So even though the yardage is more, it was the same thickness as drop snort, so I could use the same needles. And this was much easier on my hands because it was just one strand, 2.25 millimeter needles. So whenever I would get tired from these socks, whenever my wrists would get tired, then I would just pick these up and work a bit on them. And one of them is finished now, and I started on the other one. So this is really a week of socks, celebrations and surprises, which I'll tell you. I could even name it like that. The surprise that I was going to tell you is that on Alex's birthday. Now, at the very beginning of the blog, I have shown you our dragon fruit, pitaya cactus, and where I thought the fruit was going to form, because this is the first time we are growing dragon fruit or pitaya. So I recorded that at the very beginning of the blog. And on Alex's birthday, that night, I was passing by it. And in that place, this magnificent flower opened up. I recorded the footage early morning, the next morning, and I included that as well. You probably saw it already. This magnificent white flower opened, and it was the most beautiful flower I have ever seen. Now, I know that cacti, at least mine, sometimes they bloom only for 1 or 2 days, and then they don't bloom again. And this one opened up in the night. So I thought, okay, maybe this is a nighttime blooming flower. So I waited until like very early in the morning, before properly the sun comes out, so I can record it in case it goes away during the day and it doesn't come back again. And that's exactly what happened. That flower, I was reading up on it later. It's a pitaya flower. I don't know if it's all of the sorts, but this particular one, it's even called Queen of the Night. It blooms for one night only, and it was then. I think the flower was, I forgot now in which group. I think it belonged to the group of orchids. I don't know how that works because it's cactus, but I think it was orchids. Don't take my word for it. You can easily check that up. But it was like bigger than my hand. You saw the footage. The most beautiful flower I have seen, and I just couldn't take my eyes off it. I tried recording it during the night, but the footage didn't come out well. The lighting was yellow, and it really didn't give it justice. So I couldn't wait until the morning to actually take some photos and the footage of it. Such a beautiful surprise. I can't wait to have some more of those. And now that I know that they bloom in the night, and when, hopefully I'm going to have more of those. But it was one of those moments, I don't know if you can feel it on the camera, but for me it was a magical moment. I took a lot of nice pictures as well as the footage during the day. Actually that morning, not during the day, because it just kind of like, it died out during the day. So hopefully, I think that a fruit is going to form in its place now. I hope so. So that was that. That's pretty much what I made this week. In between the birthday and the migraines, but it was enough. There was, I took an easy pace, and I've prioritized these socks for our friend's birthday. So I'm happy with what I have made. I didn't want to force myself. While I was having a headache, I was sitting here knitting on the couch a bit here and there. Maybe they would have been finished earlier, but because I was a bit slower, that's how long it took them. But they're done now. And last night what I started doing is I started spinning some yarn, and also unraveling the triangle shawl that I made sometime last year, because I told you I don't necessarily wear triangle shawls. I might change my mind on that, but so far I don't really like triangle shawls on me. And I made one, and you might remember it. Now it's only half of it left, but it was done from my hand spun yarn. And this is the fiber that I started spinning last night. This is the fiber. It's very soft, beautiful fiber. It's a blend of merino, camel, alpaca, and silk. So it's just like really soft. I asked Nicola, my older son, yesterday. I said, come on, touch it, and he touched it, and he goes, oh, it's like baguette. Baguette is our ginger cat. I was like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. It feels just beautifully soft. And this is the yarn that I have used, this hand spun, for this shawl, triangle shawl. But what I did with this one, that's why it's a bit grayish, I held the cobweb strand of gray merino, and this is how the fabric came out. You probably see the gray tone to it that it gave it. I like how the combination of gray and this works. But now, because I don't like having things that I know that I'm probably not going to wear. Now, having things that I know that are for special occasions and that I will wear occasionally, you know, like I have plenty of high heel shoes that obviously I'm not wearing every day, and I'm perfectly fine with that, and I keep them nicely in the box, and some of them are even 20 years old and still in perfect condition. But when I feel like I'm gonna wear it, then I take the pair out, and so they fit the outfit perfectly. But in general, clothes, I don't like to have things that I don't think that I'm going to wear. So I didn't want to keep this around just like that, because hand spun yarn, for me, that's precious. It takes very long time to spin yarn, at least that's for me. So what I started doing, I started unraveling it, and I'm making it into a ball, but this was not plied. This was a single ply of hand spun, just held with the cobweb of gray merino. So what I might do, either put this, I'm going to finish this today, but I left it so I can show you the fabric that it was creating. So I'm either going to take this and just ply it on its own, just twist it, or I'm going to add another maybe cobweb yarn, maybe white, or maybe beige or gray cashmere, and ply those three strands together. The hand spun strand, the gray merino, which is already in there, and another one maybe beige or white, I think. And I think that would give me like a DK weight yarn. So I mean, stay tuned, I'll see what I'm going to make with this. No plans yet, but I just wanted to kind of start getting organized, not only not having stuff that I'm not gonna wear, but also start removing stuff that is just lying around and not having its place. And I still have one jumper from last year that I washed that I still didn't depil, and that one also, I mean, it's end of the summer soon. I mean, for other people soon. For me, probably in 2 months it's gonna be time to start wearing it again. But I have it on the mannequin now, and that's the jumper that I always somehow leave until the end. I think that's the one that I wear the most. It's done out of my hand spun yarn. Maybe for next video I'm gonna get around to that and show you the jumper also and depil it finally. Recording like this actually does help me to stay on track, because somehow I keep myself accountable, not necessarily to you, but I organize my thoughts more as I'm recording, and the chores, they don't seem as difficult because you know, I'm recording it and it becomes almost like a game. And also I kind of make a plan, okay, so what I'm gonna do this week, not for the video, But because I'm going to record it, I kind of make an order of what I'm going to do, and that automatically kind of puts my life in order and the things that I want to do. So it's working out. It's working out well. Sorry. I was thinking, because I'm spinning this yarn now, and this is just I bought. It's a top. It's a top that I bought, so all the fibers are aligned. But I like to make my own bats and to mix. I'm not going to mix this with anything else because it's already blended, and I like the blend that it is. I bought this from, because people ask where do I get my fiber from. I bought this from World of Wool a couple of years ago, and I still have quite a bit of it left. But I was wondering how many spinners are, if you can tell me how many spinners are watching this, how many spinners are on my channel. Because now that I have an online store, and I usually have stitch markers, some of the hand spun yarn, I mean usually I had it only open for a month, and it's not always stocked. It's just whenever I have something I put it on. Right now I have some stitch markers on. I plan to put some hand spun yarn, and when I finish the hand woven wrap, but that's not done yet because this week I wasn't working on it. But I'm wondering how many spinners are on this channel, and if you are, is that something that you would like me to put in the online shop? Would you like me to make some fiber blends and make them into bats and put them in the online shop? Because that's usually how I spin. I make my own bats, and that's how I get those beautiful marled shades. But I don't know if that's something, although it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can still make them for myself. Now I'm thinking out loud. I can still make them for myself and then put them on, and if it doesn't sell, I mean, it's the same thing because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for me. So I kind of answered my own question, but I am interested. I am interested in how many spinners are watching this. I don't really have anything else to show you for this week because of the things that I told you, birthday, migraine, surprises, but these socks are done. I'm going to package them, and I did record some footage while I was knitting those socks, so I'm probably going to leave you with that. Bless you, Jake. Bless you. I don't know if the camera caught him, but Jake is here and he was just sneezing like 10 times in a row. I recorded some footage while I was knitting those socks, and I think in that footage is also me cutting for the afterthought heel as well. So I'm going to close the vlog, this week's vlog, with that. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.
Hey, I wish you could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid.